Okay, hello, hello. Hello, hello, anyone that's coming in. I'm giving it just a few minutes just to let people come in. This will probably be noisy for a minute because I have my mic in my hand, so. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot I needed to get my other device so that way I can read from my notes. What did I do with it? Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, Lordy. Hello, hello, everyone coming in. I'm just giving this just a few minutes just to let other people come in before we start. But we're going to start in just a minute. I don't even know if my things never work right. Like as far as me being able to see who comes in or whatever. So when you get in, if you want to, say something in chat so I know people are here. And give me like 3 minutes here and we're going to get started. I've been behind because I've just been behind, so I haven't had discussions a whole lot on the alternate perpetrators. And now that I am doing readings on it, I wanted to explain some of the things I found. I don't know, I'm not going to call them facts, but well, I don't even know what to call some of the court documents because they've changed those up so much that some of them to me are not fact, but I guess it's what I call kind of common sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it common sense, but my theory of the way things could work. And I know some people call it conspiracy theorists, but good Lord, if Cy Ray can be called a conspiracy theorist, then I don't even care. To me, conspiracy theories are what the government made up to try to divert us from the truth. Most conspiracy theories I've looked in have been true. We wouldn't be looking for this if documents made sense, and that's what I told people today. I tried to watch the Obsession last night, whatever she was talking about, with whoever. That makes no sense to me because nobody heard anything, remember? But now all of a sudden these people can tell her exactly what was going on. And I guess try to convince us. I don't even know what she said about those screams because I could not sit there. It sounded to me, I was like, who is paying her to try to convince people that they didn't hear what they heard? I mean, that's exactly what I thought, but and I don't, oh God, the pro burgers, all I heard last night. I said, I'm not a pro burger. I'll say this again. I've said it for the 3-4 years I've been doing this case. I'm pro Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan and justice. If he's not guilty, then no, I don't want him sitting there. I want all the people that's guilty. He may very well be involved or know something or something. I mean, I really don't know. But I did find the astrology charts that I found and looked up. Very interesting. Adding Mowich to the situation, to the tragedy. I mean, I did also find out information. Hey, Renee. I did also find out information when I looked it up, and I talked to my cousin who doesn't work for the FBI, but she was with somebody that worked for the FBI and law enforcement. So I found out some stuff about why. Maybe it's going to explain a little bit, and this actually may help Moscow look a little better, their police department anyway. Alyssa, I cannot see what you said. I see this, but I'm not sure what you're saying. But anyways, please, when you come in, please hit the like button. It'll help get this out a little more. I haven't been doing lives. I used to have a lot of people come in my lives. I would stream half the night on the weekend, but I backed off for a little bit. I had to take a break from the case for a little bit. I took it at the wrong time because that's when everything started coming out. But anyways, it's all in divine timing, in my opinion. So, because I didn't know anything about this Malwich guy. I mean, people knew about him. Even my friend Christy, she does Christy's Chaos on here. She knew about him, and she really didn't say anything. I guess she thought I knew about him, but I didn't. But I think that I'm finding out about him just in time. Because I have a couple of, and I don't go down the conspiracy theory of they were out on the street selling crack and that's how they got involved and that's why they're getting, no, I don't think that. I don't think their parents was selling drugs. I mean, we know about the two, but I'm not even talking about that tonight as far as it being them, because they would have went after them. Xana's mama's already been in jail. They would have went after them. There is still something that it took me a while to kind of figure it out, and then I had to figure out how law enforcement, FBI worked, because I don't know anything about the FBI except what we hear, which, that's what we hear. So, but I am doing everything that I'm not supposed to be doing. Not that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm saying was trying to get my other phone so that I could find my notes, and I'm doing everything else. Sorry. Can y'all hear me okay? I don't have my microphone attached to me because I'm scared if I move around a lot. Move my hands when I talk. I'm from the South, so I didn't want it to be all in y'all's ear. All the crazy noises, so. And my mind went blank. Okay, let me get this pulled up. This is what I was supposed to be doing. Sorry, y'all. And again, I can't see. My thing will go from 20 people to 2 people to, so it's never right at the exact time. So I don't know who's in here. So I'm just going to welcome everybody now, and hopefully, because I'm not going to stop and welcome people. I have no idea who's coming in and out. So, I don't really pay attention to the numbers. The only reason I do is to see, like, if I can see if new people are coming in, so I don't lose people. But that's why I was trying to give it a minute too. But I still wanted to go ahead and start explaining to y'all. And I have had people ask me about my memberships. I do have them still active because I really don't know how to make them not active. But I'm trying to get a plan together now to do lives, like members only lives, where we can discuss stuff. And there are some readings that I can do, like the Jeffrey Epstein, that I can go in more detail in on members lives, that I could not do it on regular recordings or whatever. So, or I can do recorded videos that are more in detail about some of the stuff on those. And so I'm going to be doing those. I think my memberships, y'all, are like 99 cents or $1.99. It's cheap. I just did it. It kept on bugging me to set them up, so I did. But I've had a couple people send me messages asking me about that, so I'm going to get that started as well. And 2, when I do those, if you are a member, then I will do like once a month reading for your month for y'all free. I'll set up something at the beginning of every month for that. Um, so those are just a couple things. And give me 1 second. I'm trying to. Where did I put my notes? Okay, right there. Okay, trying to get this together. For anyone who's coming in, hello, hello. Hang on. Okay, I don't even know how to chat in this thing. I think I have to use my other device for that too. So, um, let me make sure. Well, I got to change it to all messages too. Hang on. I forget to do that. Okay. All right, we're good, I think. Okay, so okay. And then at the end of this, I'm also going to give y'all, and I'll have to put it probably in the description links to add a link, or I may be able to send it in chat. I'll get on the chat on my other device at the end. There are some videos that explain some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about on YouTube. So, but trigger warning because some of them have some violence in it. I'm going to go and say that now. Let's see. So, when we're talking about Mowich, he passed away November 19th, I believe, 2022. He succumbed to his injuries. I believe, and I'm doing this backwards, but he was walking around, I think, Lewiston, and he was like really confused. He didn't know what was going on. He lost a lot of blood and stuff. So, trigger warning, y'all. But I think that one, he had marks on his face and stuff that looked like he had been in a fight, which would go along with the four. They all had defensive wounds on them, but especially Kaylee and Xana fighting back. But I personally believe he wasn't supposed to take them out. It was supposed to scare them, and it went too far. And when you make any kind of organization, like they already had investigations going on. I'm getting into that too in just a minute. But they're all for you, but you can't be messing stuff up like that. Okay, so that's what I think with that, and I could be wrong, but that's my opinion with that. Again, I'm not saying Brian Koberger had nothing to do with this. I'm just saying that he didn't do it alone. I don't think he did any of the physical to it. That's just my opinion. He may be completely innocent. I mean, I don't know. Even if he knows something, he still could be completely innocent. He just knows of. I'm not sure exactly where he fits in, but I do not think he is the perpetrators that actually did the deed. I think it was this man and whoever he had go with him or they put with him, whatever. Um, hang on, let me get. Okay, so he died 6 days after the murders on November 19th, 2022. Okay. And I know some of y'all may not be into astrology and all this kind of stuff. I am not one that can sit here and tell you all this stuff. Um, I looked up this information, asked questions from my friends that are astrologers, so that's how I got this. I'm not that great with astrology. I can find birth charts and all that, but and explain it for the most part. But that's yeah, I'm not claiming to be a professional at all. But the information is like this, and the affiliation is a prison affiliations I'm talking about, AK, if you know it, you know it. And I think there's one of two scenarios. Well, really one. There was a rumor, and we found a lot of these rumors to be true, that one of the roommates, and I believe her boyfriend at the time, whether it's still her boyfriend or not, I don't know. I have no idea what that question is about, dating military, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. So sorry. Anyways, I think that they were selling, or Dylan was either, DM was either helping her boyfriend sell, or I just think it was going through the house. If you look at a lot of the body cam pictures or footage of when they went to the house for noise complaints, Maddie and Kaylee was not there. I do not think Maddie was like a bitch. That's not what I consider a bitch. I do think she was very straight up about she did not want drugs going through that house like that. I do not think she wanted to be around that. I do not think she liked that. And I do think she was a bitch about, and I don't even call it that, but very direct about that. I do believe that. Okay. If that's not it, somehow they got either involved in that, or Malwich could have been not selling for the organization. He could have just been slinging it on his own, which is a no-no, because anything you do, you're supposed to be doing with the organization that you're in. So those are the theories I have of how this worked. It could be because he's in this organization. It don't even have to be. The reason I think it is because it's one of those two things, because he succumbed to his injuries. I don't know. I don't think Xana and them were able to stab him back like that. He had stab wounds, according to his autopsy, allegedly. That's what was online anyway. So, he was born January 19th, 1983. I was born in 83 on the 25th of January. So this guy is my age, and I'm 43 now. This was in 2022. So he is much older. And Todd Siegel, actually, if you watch Todd Siegel, and he is not just a psychic on the internet, like police call him, like investigative departments call him all the time. And he literally described this man to a T. And I'll find a video, but he described this man and said he was older. He was older. And it had to do with somebody talking. So it's not just a debt owed, but I do think it had to do a little bit with money. And I don't know if that stuff with Maddie is true or not. You know what I mean? About her flush and stuff. I have no idea. But I also think it had to do, I don't think it was just moving narcotics. I think they moved people too. And I do think, because Kaylee's dad was wanted everybody to know that she was very worried about child movement, people moving, all that. And it was kind of like out of the blue. And I really believe that she had knowledge of some kind of, whether she was investigating it because she wanted to do that kind of thing, she liked doing that, whatever. So I don't have all the, I can't cherry pick and figure out exactly what's what. I was not there, so I don't know. These are my opinions. This is what everything, and now the documents coming out, are leading me to believe, because nothing is pointing to Brian Kohberger. I go in these chats every day with these people coming in talking about him stalking, which that did not happen. Stuff that's not, they listen to mainstream media, and I didn't realize Nancy Grace lied until this case. Okay, I did not realize how bad the mainstream media will literally keep telling you something, or keep saying something and keep pushing it out there when it's already been proven to be false, and what facts they leave out, because they will. And like I told people, I understand a lot of people don't have time to read everything in the case, but do not come regurgitate what anybody said. Even me. Go find the answer yourself and then talk about it, because you look like a fool when, I don't even understand these people. And these people, when you ask them why they think Brian's guilty, they have no idea about the other DNA. But he took a plea deal. They don't understand. That's exactly why he took a plea deal. Duh. Because the judge took away every defense he was going to use. That's where I really get ill. This is why I will never be on a jury, because I will look at the judge and tell them, I did research his case first, because you are not fixing to, I live in a death penalty state. I'm not fixing to get up here and send somebody to death row, give them life in prison, and y'all keep stuff like other DNA or anything else from me because they're allowed to do that. I think that should be illegal. If there's other DNA there, if it's unknown, they should have to talk about that in court. They were not going to let Brian talk about, or Ann talk about anything except what pointed to Brian, which was very little anyway. But if a jury knows nothing about any other DNA, how likely is it that they're going to fry him? Likely. So he took a plea deal. He may be guilty. I'm not saying he's not. These people flip out on people. Pro burgers. What the fuck is a pro burger? I'm pro justice. I don't know what's wrong with these people. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have Epstein files. None of those people have been arrested. None of them have been arrested. The stinking Department of Justice, man, come on. I just couldn't even watch it. I don't even know these people's names, but he was talking about, we don't know if that's true or anyways, I just want to punch him in the face. I mean, all this immunity we're talking about, bullshit. Immunity should only go so far. If you have hurt a child, you don't have immunity. Okay, that's ridiculous. That means that's just, and I know I'm fixing to have some people go crazy with me. Listen, I have friends in Israel, and I'm not talking about the people of Israel. I'm talking about their government. That is exactly how we get manipulated by Israel, and Israel owns us every day. That's exactly what's wrong with Hollywood. Exactly what is wrong, what happened with P. Diddy. And I'm not saying he's not a bad person because he is. But what I'm saying is a white Jewish man is the reason this stuff happened. And people can get mad if they want to. That is the truth. And they're going to play this stuff out. I mean, this is what I don't understand. When I went down this rabbit hole, I was watching Ukraine and Israel at war, and there was people in our country that literally said, screw the Ukrainian kids dying. God said, only worry about Israel. Who's God? What God? I don't know what God is in that Christian Bible. I ain't figured it out yet, because to me, I do believe in God, but not the God that they're talking about, because it contradicts itself too much. Okay, so, and I'm going off subject a little bit, but what I'm saying is we have a problem in the United States with people want to come to other people's platforms, and if I don't like somebody, I do not go to them. Drunk Turkey, he does not pop up on my For You Nothing page. You know why? Because I don't like to listen to him. So I have it to where he don't even pop up. So I forgot about that man. I forgot all about that man. Why in the freak do these people want to come in platforms? They make me mad. I tell them to get the hell on. And I'm not going to be negative with them. Come in people's platform. They know they don't agree with what the creator's saying, and they want to come in there to argue. I'm not going somewhere I don't want to be, or where I don't agree. If I got to argue, I do listen to people I don't agree with, because that's how you debate, learn, all that kind of stuff. Now, I cannot listen to things when they go overboard, like this crap last night, because nobody's going to convince me that those are not screams. Nobody is going to, I mean, that's just the I can't, I don't care. Anyway, I'm not. I just want justice for these kids. Do I understand the parents need a break? Yes. They just need to not listen to it, because I'm not going to stop asking questions. Because I still have them. Because those documents don't make any flipping sense. Hello? I'm trying to say the audio is fake. Jules paid a lot of money for that FOIA request for that audio. If it's fake, the damn police department did it. But it's not fake when it comes to the 4-7, whatever it is they want to hear. Y'all, none of that makes any sense. And people get too offended when you're still asking questions. And the first thing I do when people do that is, what the hell do you know that you don't want people to know? Because that's what that seems like. Now, I don't know if it's because Stephen them's like, fuck it, they're not going to give us justice anyway. We have to win this lawsuit with WSU. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying they can't admit that anything is not Brian Kohberger right now, especially because their lawsuit would go bye-bye. So maybe that's what it is, and I'm not even faulting them for that, because if it was my kid, I don't know I would lose my mind. I would not come out publicly and say I believed. I couldn't do all that. I would just keep my mouth shut, because I couldn't even go here. Anyway, back to what I was saying. See, I get off on rants, but what I'm saying is, if people come in here doing that, I just want to direct them. Like, if they come in here talking about stalking, to direct them to the court on YouTube, the video thing where the prosecution says there was no stalking. I think there was. It just wasn't Brian Kohberger. I mean, for real. Anyway, so let me get through his chart. I done got off on, you know. Okay, so Nicholas Mowich was a local man who died just 6 days after the murders on November 19th, 2022. So the transit of chaos. On the night of the murders, Mars was retrograde. This is the ultimate sign of mission gone wrong. It indicates that while someone may have gone in with a specific plan to collect debt or send a message, the situation spiraled. The struggle. The victims, specifically Xana and Kaylee, had warrior placements in their charts. They fought back. This resistance caused a psychic break in the perpetrator. Psyche break. The disorientation. He was found shortly days after wandering disoriented in the echoes of his life. He was caught between his Native American heritage and the AK ideology. I don't know if his father was linked to this or not. Somebody said he was. I'm not sure. But anyways, in his chart, this is what this is saying. The idea of him messing up the mission if and when he messed up the mission, he became a liability. His accidental quote unquote death was the group's way of buying the secret. Hey, y'all, I'm trying to look at chat, but I can't, because I can't see it that good, and I'm reading notes. So if y'all say something, I'm here. If y'all can hear me, so you know. If you have questions, put them in there. I will scroll back up and go through them. The ones I can answer, I will. Let's see. The scapegoat. The legal system needed a clean answer, so they focused on Brian Kohberger. The observer. Kohberger's chart shows him as a scout or an observer, someone who maybe was likely there, but perhaps as a witness or low-level participant. The filter. The court blocked the defense from talking about the other DNA and the decedent, which that decedent word was in the file in the court documents. I cannot remember where, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I called Christy and was like, "Oh my God," or texted her and said, "Oh my God, do you remember that?" We thought they were talking about Brent Kopaka. I think this may have been it, but I'm going to explain the other angle of Moscow may not have even known that. Hang on, I'll get there. I'm going to talk about too many things and have myself confused. Okay. So what I'm talking about now, these are not, what I'm giving y'all examples of right now are not facts. This is what is in his astrology chart, his birth chart with a crime chart that's done kind of like with birth charts. So that's what I'm explaining now. Okay, so I am very big on dismantling in our heads, everybody's head, because we all, whether it's even if it's something that's not that bad, it can still be a cult idea in your head. Even groups that are not bad, most of them still have cult mentality. So I am doing what I can to learn about the cults and how to break it. I'm actually going to be doing a class on that. I've got a book I've wrote, like a textbook thing, and a workbook I've made, all to do this. So this is my thing right here. We must understand that the ideologies, whether they are gangs or legal systems, often sacrifice individuals to protect the machine. To be truly clear-minded, we have to look past the person in the cell and see the web that put them there. Okay. So, and I have a quote: the truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. Okay, so hang on. Also, Quinn's dad allegedly was part of this prison thing. I don't know about Dylan's dad because he was in and out of prison too. And Dylan did call her dad, but you know who she didn't have any calls to? Quinn. You know what's weird about that? She said in her interview that when she got scared other nights, she called or texted Quinn and was on the phone or texting him all night. She did not. Saray said, Inner Circle A, someone very close to the roommates, like a boyfriend. He used the example like a boyfriend. I think that's who he was talking about. Quinn, maybe, was coming from Lewiston that night. At the time, would put him there for the crimes. Well, guess where Mowich lives? Lewiston. Take that as you will, or where you want it. I will answer that question. Let me get done talking about this stuff, and I will answer that question because that is horrible. I'm sorry, your son is not healthy, but I will answer that. Just let me get done with this. He was just 30 miles from Moscow is how far Lewiston is. He is Indian American. Wait a minute. Native American. I'm sorry, my mind went blank. So he was also involved with the Nez Perce tribes. And the stuff in the prison gangs, yeah. So the night of the event, on November 13th, the stars were in a state of chaos. Mars was retrograde, which is the signature of a mission gone wrong. So I told y'all that. Let's see. So the Mars was retrograde in Gemini. For Brian Koberger, this Mars transit hit his 8th house of secrets, making him look like a sneaky observer. For Nicholas Mowich, the Mars transit was exactly trine to his natal sun. This is an electric trigger. It gives a person sudden violent burst of a physical drive, while Koberger's chart was cold and lonely kind of. Nicholas's chart was on fire that night. So Mars in Aries. So Xana was a warrior. Her Mars in Aries sat in a direct, harsh aspect to Nicholas's sun. This tells us that if Nicholas was the one in that room, Xana didn't just hide. She fought him with a physical intensity that his chart couldn't handle, which we know that because we've heard about, you know. So, from what I was told, and I don't know, I've not read the document, the defense had said something about a decedent DNA being, or could be I don't know how they put it. So, if that is true, then I really do think they were talking about him. Now, they did talk about a decedent, it was in the Pennsylvania stuff, I think, that I read, but I don't know, like, I didn't ever hear anything else about that, so. Let's see. So what I wanted to explain to y'all next was how the FBI works, kind of inner ways. Hang on. So, I wanted to know how the FBI could not know and just hand them Brian Koberger's name for a tip. Okay, because I was like, so the FBI they knew it was Mowich, but they handed the case back to, it didn't make any sense to me. Now, please remember, in March of 2023, there was a humongous bust on the AKs. Remember, there was a task force already in Moscow, a drug task force. Josh Hurwitz, or whatever his name is, that's what he does. They called him to be on that prosecution team for some reason. And I think it was to help them get around this stuff. And here's why. So I wanted to know how the police could know and everything. So this is what I was talking to my cousin about. So this will kind of put the puzzle together. And this is not astrology. This is like I'm going to say facts from how the FBI works, of what I was told anyway. The March 2023 takedown. In March 2023, just 4 months after the Moscow tragedy, the FBI and federal task force executed a massive takedown of a drug ring tied to the Aryan Knights. They arrested 24 people across the region. The wiretaps. These busts aren't sudden. They are the result of a year-long investigations. That means in November 2022, the FBI already had their eyes in the sky. They were probably wiretapping the very gang of associates that Nicholas Mowich moved with. They likely knew every heartbeat along that 30-mile stretch between Lewiston and Moscow. Nicholas was probably monitored. And they may have even known that he did it. I'm sure they do. If he did it, they do. Now, why would they not do anything? Because that would have messed up their bigger investigation. That would have made the FBI have to come out and say how they get and how they do their stuff, and they don't want to give up their investigative tools. So again, they will sacrifice even the FBI. So, you know what I mean? So that's not cult-like mentality that I just was talking about, is it? No, couldn't be. So when people want to say, well, how? Because me too. But that made sense. I am sure that the prosecution knows that. I am sure Ann Taylor knows what's going on. I mean, I can't say that for a fact, but in my opinion, I think they do. Now, do I know what's going to happen with this? I have no freaking clue, because I don't understand this. It was like Pee-wee's Playhouse to me. I could be completely wrong, but I'm just trying to, just like everybody else, figure out what's going on. I'm not trying to put out stuff that's going to hurt the kids more or do anything. They can't be hurt. They know exactly what happened, okay? I don't have a problem connecting to any of the four of them. That is one thing I can say I do just fine. Now, with the other ones, I can't as much, but with these four, I pretty much, yeah. They know what happened. They're trying to give us hints and stuff for the truth, because they deserve that. Nothing they could have done would deserve them to be done like this. I don't care if they had a little embarrassing this. Everybody does. I don't think they were bad kids. I don't think they were crackheads on the side of the street. I don't think they were just selling drugs. I don't. I do think they might have come all along, found some information out they were talking about that was like a no-no. And I mean, you don't realize that when you're that age. I don't think they had any clue that it was going to be this. You know, I just don't. The reason I don't trust Dylan, and I do feel sorry for her in certain ways, but I don't, because you can't have it every way. You cannot be scared to death, but you didn't call the police because you didn't think nothing was wrong. It can't be both. Which is it? You could not have walked by and saw Xana laying on the damn floor, and we know this now, and thought nothing was wrong. There's no way. You will never convince me of that. None. Zero. The other issue is, why are you still alive if you made eye contact with the perpetrator? There's a reason you're alive. You know something. They were told not to mess with you, because if he was just a psycho killer, if this is what they would have took out everybody. They left nobody, because they don't do that. Okay? So, also, they can't try the man because he is deceased. Now, the college part of it. Either there's more to the story too, and the frats were involved in some type of way, capacity, or the college thinks they were, so they wanted to shut it down. I think it's because they know it had to do with this type of prison gang that is on the street too, and they did not want people scared to go to their college. They would lose money. I do believe that. They said they tore the house down. I know Miss Natasha said that, you know, it made sense to her that they said they tore the house down because it was a biohazard. If it was a biohazard, then they wouldn't have asked the defense or the prosecution could they tear it down, and they wouldn't have had to sign off on it like that, because it wouldn't have mattered because it was a biohazard. So I don't really, that's just the universe, whoever trying to cover that up. Also, there has been, I can't remember what podcast it was now. It's the guy used to be investigator. I don't really care for him. I like his wife okay, but anyways, Chris, whatever his last name is, I can't remember the name of their podcast, but his wife did find out the university paid $1 million for that house. I don't care what anybody says. They paid for that house and then they tore it down. So, you know, there's just a lot of shady stuff going on. And the thing is I don't care if you think Brian Kohberger is guilty. What I don't understand is how you don't have no questions. If you've read these court documents, these people just say, it makes perfect sense to me. I want to scream and pull my hair out. I don't care if you think Brian Kohberger is guilty as they come. I mean, but you still should be having questions about these court documents, about the way the police handled this. Just because you have questions don't mean I don't care if you think he's guilty. You have the right to think Peter Pan's guilty. I mean, shit, you can think whoever's guilty. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the common sense enough to know what the fuck is up with these court documents. The PCA was a complete lie. Since when the hell can you take a lie and put it into court? Since when the hell, I'm sure Ray, I can't wait till that man comes back. I got a million questions for him because I know he knows exactly what happened. And that's another thing. That man's blatantly said, this man works for free. I know people don't understand this. Look, I watch everything that man does, okay? If you want a hero at 43, that's my hero. I love Ray. I don't care who likes it, who don't. I don't give a damn. I love Ray. And I love him because he don't care about telling his mistakes. He will tell you every mistake he made. He ain't trying to be nobody but him. He does his shit free. You want to know why? That way can't nobody try to blackmail his ass or get him to do anything because they paying him. Nope. And he's never worked for the defense until Brian Kohberger. And he said it in his affidavit where he got called a fucking conspiracy theorist, that he has never seen a prosecution go to such lengths to cover up something much bigger. To such lengths. The man called out the people that he would go to basically, he called out the FBI. He just went through the back door to get he did all of this. He's not saying nobody's name like that. You know why he couldn't? He would be sued. Has anybody sued him? No, they have not. They would sue him for defamation for fucking lying, and they have not. That's how you know it's the truth. Also, why the fuck would he lie? He don't know Brian Kohberger. He don't get to know them. He don't want to know them. He does not try. He's not talked to Brian. He don't want to. He is there. The only thing he wants, and he will say this. He said this. Go to his podcast on YouTube. Search Ray. It'll come up. If people would take a minute and watch it, all these people trying to damn discredit him that didn't know shit sounded and looked stupid, and I'd get fighting mad because that's just ridiculous. He was a good law enforcement officer when he was in the freaking force, on the force, and we don't have a lot of them. So I just don't understand. No, I am not a Brian Kohberger super fan. I am a truth super fan. Do you see what blackmail and everything else? Y'all don't think this shit can happen? They eating babies. Them folks in them Epstein files, all them political people are eating children. That's not true. Oh, fucking K. And I'm not scared. And people ask me if I got threatened. Baby, I don't care if I get threatened. Do you? What the hell? I don't want to be here. I'm scared I'll have to come back. I used to be scared I was going to hell. I lived in that fear forever and ever and ever and ever. I don't anymore. Shit, no, I'm scared I'll have to come back to this place. Who in the fuck wants to come back when they are doing kids like this? And they are sleeping at night. And none of them are going to jail. Don't tell me what can and cannot happen. Y'all better open your eyes and look at what the hell is going on. Because ain't none of them, zero, zilch, has went to jail, and half of them have immunity, and they will never go to jail for it.
Now, tell me what would happen if me or you did, which I can't even. I'd hope nobody on my page would ever do it, and I'm not fixing to. I don't give a damn. I'll have every wrinkle and every gray hair in the world. What in the fuck is wrong with these people? And you know, the weird thing is these freaks have kids of their own, and I don't understand. Like this, that's over my head right there. I don't give a shit about Hollywood. I've got to wear. I mean, and I used to love Lil Wayne, and I love MGK too. I hope like hell I don't think he has. God forbid. I hope, but I don't. I don't listen to mainstream music anymore. I listen to art. I listen to Tech Nine, people like that, because I don't think I cannot. Who in the hell is supporting these people? And Nicki Minaj has been blackmailed, and that's why she's going back and forth, because that's how they do anyway. Y'all, and if y'all don't think those frats and all of those are mini Masons, this Aryan Knights and stuff, all of this shit would not be around if the Masons wouldn't. It all started with them, and all of it, in my opinion, is a branch off from them. I don't give a shit which one it is. They're all a branch off from that. And our country was founded on Masonry, and I am almost convinced that the damn Masons wrote our Bible. Wrote the Bible that we have today. I'm telling y'all, I think they did. Because, look, I'm not being mean. I'm not going to get started. I'm just saying this. The devil didn't kill nobody in the damn Bible, and God killed all kind of people. Does your fucking parents send you to hell if you do wrong? Okay. Jesus is God's only son. We're all God's children. Make it make sense. And I believe in Jesus. I do believe he was a healer. They called his wife a whore. And I'm telling y'all they did. I'm just saying, if people would research, I didn't ask somebody, should I believe the Bible, okay? I've tried to ask preachers, and I would get told I was going to hell, or they couldn't answer it. So I went searching on my own to find out the shit they left out of the Bible, the shit they don't want us to know. And King James had a boyfriend, by the way, the one that wrote the stuff about being gay in the Bible, just so everybody knows. And also the Bible was written so that we would be okay with wars and think that it was godly. I'm just saying. So, get me off on my rant. All of this stuff makes me mad. All I want is the truth. I want the truth because there are 4 kids that lost their fucking life in a worst case, most horrific fucking nightmare. And I wish they were all sleeping and did not even know what happened to them. But none of them, but maybe Maddie, was sleeping. Kaylee may have laid down. I don't know why I don't think she laid down in Maddie's bed. That bed's really little. Why wouldn't she go to her bed? By the way, for the dog not to have any motherfucking blood on him, there sure was paw prints on that floor. Are those pictures fake too, damn it? I'm just saying. All these people, law enforcement, that's like worshiping fucking Hollywood. I'm not saying you should be mean or disrespect law enforcement. I'm just saying the motherfuckers lie. And there's corrupt people everywhere. And somebody ain't telling the damn truth. We can see it. So it is stupid for people to, even if they think Brian Kohberger did it, damn it. Why can't they think Brian Kohberger did it and still say something is fucked up about this, though? Why? They cannot, I mean, that is the most stupid. I don't understand people today. And I don't have no, I don't have no patience. I'm mean, I guess. I guess I'm just a bitch. I try not to be, but y'all, I cannot do no common sense. And I cannot do somebody trying to tell somebody that they don't need to talk or talk about it. You are making me think there's more reason to talk about it, because I'm sure that's what Epstein them said too. Don't talk about it, right? Right. That's just like you tell your kids. If somebody tells you not to tell me something, that's the first fucking thing you do is go come tell me. You shouldn't be your kids should not be keeping secrets from you. Even if it's their daddy, their mama, you don't tell them to keep a secret from their daddy either. You don't tell, why would you do that? See, people do that shit. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Now, are there some people lying about stuff that happened to them? Yes, there are probably some people that nothing happen to them. Maybe they're fucked up in the head, but I don't think it's not even 1%. Most of those people, the shit happened to them. Y'all need to look at these rituals, listen to these people talk about rituals and shit that their parents put them through. That they Luciferian people and stuff. And like Nicole Kidman's dad was fixed to go to trial for child hunting. Hunting children. Do y'all know what that is? That don't happen. Oh, fucking K. Well, he was sure enough going to trial for the shit. Jesus, Lord have mercy. I'm just saying, all these people that people want to worship and idolize, no, y'all know what? And Ashley from the Reckoning Code don't like to be idolized, so I don't idolize her, but I love her. And if I'm going to be a fan of somebody, it's the Reckoning Code. She's the first tarot reader I ever watched, and she actually gets it. Brian did. Like, we have difference of opinions. I don't give a damn. I love Ashley. I will go to war for her, and she don't need me to. I love Ashley. I tell her all the time I love her. She has helped me more than she will ever know. She's my best friend. She didn't even know she was my best friend, but she's my best friend. Yep. I would listen to her stuff and talk to her. I didn't even care if she couldn't hear me. I did it. When the government is trying to keep everybody fighting, black, white, this, that, everything else, that's when we need to pull together. I don't care about Democrat, Republican. Apparently, they're all sick as fuck, so it don't even matter. They're just all sick. I don't even categorize anymore. If I'm gonna vote for somebody, I want somebody to tell the truth. I don't give a shit whether they red, blue, black, green, white, purple, orange. I don't care. They're all sick, apparently. They all are fucking have too much money and too much time on their hands. Way too much money and too much time on their hands. They need way more different hobbies. And some kind of fucking soul awakening. Because that's disgusting. And what I'm getting at with that stuff is it's just like this stuff in Idaho. It is a larger entity group that runs shit. Nobody in Idaho wants to talk except when they want to come out to say that what we hear is not what we hear. We ain't hearing them scream. What the fuck are they talking about? Man, I ain't even got time. I ain't even finna play with them. I don't give a shit whether they would have come on that woman's podcast last night and said that too. I would still call them a liar to their face. You a damn lie. Remember, nobody heard anything, but you gonna try to tell me? I ain't got no time for that shit. Again, you can't have it always. Like, it just don't make no sense. So, anybody listen to this that wants to holler pro Koberger, that is the stupidest fucking shit. I want the truth. I don't care if you think Brian Koberger did it. Still sit here. Tell me you think something's wrong with them damn documents. If you ain't read them yet, don't go to Nancy Grace. Don't listen to me. Search them. Read. Have the thing read it to you. Whatever. Listen to it. Seek the truth yourself. I'm never going to tell y'all just to believe me and not go look for answers. Please, don't believe me. Search for the answer. Like, I wish these people would quit regurgitating shit that they hear on, oh my God, if they knew how stupid they fucking sounded. I'm like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed for you. Please shut the fuck up right now. I mean, just absolute I cannot. And it does not help this primetime shit that comes out with the fucking shit that's going on. And I mean, it is just wild to me, all this. Just, all of it is wild to me. It is so disrespectful to those 4 kids that are dead, in my opinion. Not us trying to figure out what's going on. Not that. What's disrespectful is looking away like nothing's wrong. Like they stood in line and waited for one man to kill them. They just stood there. What the fuck? I mean, that don't even make no good fucking sense now. Ethan was not drunk. Baby, if he's drunk, he had enough uppers in his... Come on now. I cannot. I'm not even discussing that shit because that is the stupidest thing. I don't care what the PCA said. People, the PCA, they're a fucking liar. I hate to tell you this. If you're worried about it because you need to feel safe, you ain't safe, you ain't safe, you ain't safe. As I told Idaho before. You ain't safe. You might be because he is deceased, but he's a part of a bigger thing than that. So I'm just saying, you ain't safe. Quit just trying to find a comfort. You better search for the truth. Quit lying to yourself. That's the sad part. Quit lying to yourself. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care. I mean, I just don't get it. And I do not let people come in here and call. I had somebody try to call Kaylee a hoe and I lost my shit on this here app. So, no, I'm not against these kids because I will cuss a motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Like I said, they did not do this, but I don't give a shit if they stood on the corner naked and had sex with everybody that come through twice for money, okay? I don't give a shit. They shouldn't have been killed like that, and that's none of my business what they did like that, and ain't nobody gonna come call them names or say anything because we're just not. because that's disrespectful as shit. I don't know these kids. All I know is I feel like I know their soul. I feel like I know their spirit. And I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just glad because it verified to myself their personalities are exactly like I see them. I've cried many a nights for these kids I don't know. I've grieved for these parents. I've been pissed off for these parents. I have wanted to pull my hair out. I have said, please take me. Let all 4 of them be alive. And I'm scared to death to be done like that. But God, they were scared. But they had their whole lives ahead of them, dude. Like, I hate it. I think their soul was on a mission. I think it was. But I feel like that, I don't know. I just think we need the truth. Now that I've vented for an hour, I'm going to get off from here. The people that come in, thank you. And who asked me that question? Let me answer her question because I forgot it was about her kid. 1 second. Hang on. Will my son get healthy again? Okay, let me pull some cards on that and I'll tell you what I got. Sorry. Steven's getting in the car and so it was loud. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so hang on a second before we turn it off. Yes, I think he will because we have the World in reverse and then 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The World in reverse is this is not over yet. It's not complete. And 5 of Pentacles in reverse is healing, recovery. So, yes, I do think he will get better. And I hope that helps. If you want to email me, if you need a deeper reading or whatever, just email me with a little bit more information and I will get back with you. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to jump off from here because there's all kind of noise going on now. But anyways, I will probably get back on here tomorrow. I'm going to do some more readings on that. I'm also going to do some on the Epstein stuff. But anyways, y'all have a good day. And if you are on the replay crew, please like and share and subscribe if you're not. Have a good evening.